Hi, folks. Hey, this is Neil, and just as a quick recap, like I try to do as often as possible on my weekend, and to let you guys know exactly what is going on with me as far as being a targeted individual and having these experiences of being poisoned, tortured, stalked, experimented on, you name it, it has been done to me. Property stolen, property damaged, all sorts of things. Of course, mind control, subliminal messaging, and also the synchronization. Once again, with my neighbor upstairs, it seems like every time I leave my apartment, he leaves his apartment at the same time. And since I have been kind of catching on and doing a few things to make him feel uncomfortable. His girlfriend also upstairs. They try to tag team every now and then, but I do stuff to make them uneasy, to let them know that they target me, that I also will be targeting them. So now what he's doing is actually when I leave my apartment, he comes after. So we don't leave at the same time. I'll leave my apartment and probably halfway out to my car, he will follow behind, and then he won't go anywhere. He'll just maybe look, open up his car door, his truck door, or his girlfriend's car door, and then goes back inside his apartment. So that is that he's not really fooling anybody with that. So, but anyway, my weekend. So for all you TIs out there, that I just want to say I love you guys, and I want you guys to stay positive, to stay active, to not let these folks break you down in a sense. Now I know that there are certain things that are beyond our control, because when they have people who are helping them to poison your food, if you go out and have a drink, they may put some stuff in your drink, and you don't know, what they put in your drink. But anyway, just, keep on doing what you do. Just be careful. If you go out, try not to drink a whole lot. What I try to do is, I don't really drink, but if I do have a drink, I've learned that to just drink like white liquor, vodka, plain. Don't let them add any fruit juices or anything in there. Just, straight shot of vodka. I don't drink dark liquor because a lot of stuff can be hidden in dark liquor. And also, with white liquor, I think it's, you can probably taste a difference if someone adds something in there, because vodka is vodka. So when you add fruit juices and all that kind of stuff, it changes the taste of the liquor. So just like I said, just drink plain white liquor like vodka or something like that. If you do decide to go out and have a drink. So this weekend was actually pretty good compared to my experiences in the past weekend, where, like I said, I had went out and with a friend of mine, and I think so, I know for a fact somebody put something in my drink, and I explained the symptoms that I was experiencing in a past video. So this weekend was actually good. I participated in the ninth annual Deltas of Charlotte Bachelor's Auction, and which I had a lot of fun. Um, Participated with about 20, 21 guys, all great guys. We all had a great time. We raised money for different charities, and also there was an after party, which was also pretty packed. And I had to work at the after party because you guys know I take photographs at events, and so they basically are again tampering with my camera. I think they have some sort of device that throws the white balance off on my camera, and it messes with the focusing on my lens. So the photos that came out this weekend were not up to my standards, but they were okay. I was able to salvage quite a few. And if you go to my website, which is www.nicholsonphotodesigns.com, you can see I will post the photos probably tomorrow, And you can see the difference in those photos and my previous photos of events that I've done. So any events that brings a lot of attention, I'm in an environment where I'm possibly can be seen by other folks that may be of I should say political or social up the social ladder. Then they do stuff to sabotage my efforts. And because weeks throughout the before the bachelor's auction, they were sending me subliminal messages about they were going to embarrass me, that no one is ever going to bid on me, that kind of thing. And of course, that wasn't the case. I actually had a great night and did very well. And I'd like to thank the lady that bid on me. Actually, a few ladies bid on me, but she was the highest bidder. And so, I'd like to thank her. And of course, our only obligation is to go out on one date within the next 30 days. So I will definitely make that happen. Definitely show my appreciation to this lady. So anyway, this was my poster. I'm gonna show you guys. And this was a poster that was let's see. There we go. So this was a poster that was in the lobby of the theater, and this was like on an easel, and where I guess the ladies can view before they enter the auction, before the auction started, to see all the bachelors. So the photographer did a great job. So thank you to the photographer for doing such a great job on this photo. And she was thrilled because when I bought the guitar, she was like, "Oh man, fantastic!" Well, I'm like, "Yo, well, I'm a photographer, so I have to be creative, that kind of stuff." And also, this is the book, and here, let me just flip through the pages, and so this is my photo in the book. You guys can see it's my photo in the book. And that's another very nice photo. So thank you to the photographer once again, who is a female and is a great photographer. And if I ever need to get photos taken, she will be the one that I'll be calling to take my photos. Okay, so the bio of this in this book, a little short bio. Basically, I turned 42 in April, but this was actually taken. This photo was taken back in March. So this is what my bio. Actually, the theme of the auction was the classics. So basically, whatever month and year, or whatever year and month whatever date that bachelor was born in, they basically have the number one Billboard hit for that for that year or month or whatever. So the number one Billboard hit of 1971 was the theme from Shaft by Isaac Hayes. And my short bio reads, Neil Nicholson, a 41-year-old native of St. George's, Grenada. Neil Nicholson believed that his character is his best quality because I believe that everyone is equal and should be treated with honesty, respect, and dignity. Neil enjoyed art, music, sports, and photography, and also graphic design. He is an active member of the Gamma Epsilon Tau Graphic Arts Honor Society and considers Marcus Garvey his role model because he taught empowerment in every aspect of life. Neil is a timeless classic because I'm an original. So I hope you guys like that. I was trying to be coy and humble and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully, well, I think this was a great photo. The bio was great, and the auction was great. So thank you, ladies. Thank you, Deltas of Charlotte, for asking me to participate in your wonderful event. I had a good time, and it's definitely something that I will remember for a very, very long time. Okay, so now back to the subject at hand, targeted individual. For years and years, these folks have been made actually have been making targeted individuals believe that they're being investigated for some crime or crimes or whatever. And they will create situations where they will try to make you feel, guilty for doing something that they manipulated you to do, in a sense. And it may not be, if you're smart, it may not be anything serious, but they will try to make you feel like you may be arrested for it, or that kind of stuff. And they basically criminalize you and dehumanize you in the public court. So knowing that they really have no case against you and you have broken no laws, but because of this experiment, they have to make you feel like that, because the whole premise is basically based on fear. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions in human beings and in animals. Fear can make you act irrationally, can make you think illogically, and can basically turn your world upside down. It can allow people to come into your life and manipulate you. It can allow people to come into your life and take over, in a sense, for fear of whatever repercussions that they believe that they're trying to send you, these messages. So the first thing is to not be fearful. I try not to be fearful. Like I said in my last video, I talk about a healthy fear. A healthy fear means avoiding situations where you put yourself in physical, emotional danger. So if you see a situation that may be, or that or maybe may be detrimental to you, whether physically or emotionally, then do not put yourself in that situation. But fear is a matter as far as somebody trying to make you fearful of them so that they can try to control you and use you in any kind of way. Do your best to not be fearful. Okay, because these people are criminals. These people are running a mind control experiment, torture program. Okay, and this is illegal. And there's some things that I would like to lay out for you guys. And here we talk about after World War II, United Nations issued the Nuremberg trials, where they placed a lot, but not nearly enough, because a lot of the scientists were protected by countries such as the United States and Russia. So the Nuremberg Code was enacted after World War II, and that is to protect innocent people, from these type of experimentation. So the directives for human experimentation goes as follows. Number one, the voluntary consent of the human subject is absolutely essential, imperative, and it is a must. Okay? Any experiment done on anyone, that individual have to give their consent. Number two, the experiment should be such as to yield fruitful results for the good of society. Now that's a tough one, because this experiment doesn't yield anything fruitful. And this is definitely not for the good of society, because if you psychologically, emotionally, and physically damage an individual, you make that individual basically handicapped, in a sense. And that individual cannot be any good to society. How can someone be a productive member of society when their whole world is torn apart, they're emotionally damaged, they're psychologically damaged, and some people, like I said, are physically damaged, and in some cases all three at the same time? So this experiment is not fruitful. Number three, the experiment should be so designed and based on the results of animal experimentations and a knowledge of the natural history of the disease. Now, this targeted individual program, doesn't even come close to what I've just read. Number 4, the experiment should be conducted as to avoid all unnecessary physical and mental suffering and injury. Now, as a TI, we all know that this is an exact opposite as to what we're going through, what I've just read. Number 5, no experiment should be conducted where there is a priori reason to believe that death or disabling injury will occur. Number 6, the degree of risk to be taken should never exceed that determined by the humanitarian importance of the problem to be solved by the experiment. Number 7, proper preparation should be made and adequate facilities provided to protect the experimental subject against even remote possibilities of injury, disability, or death. Number 8, the experiment should be conducted only by scientifically qualified persons. Number 9, during the course of the experiment, the human subject should be at liberty to bring the experiment to an end. And number 10, during the course of the experiment, the scientist in charge must be prepared to terminate the experiment at any stage if he has probable cause to believe in the exercise of the good faith, superior skills, and careful judgment required of the scientist or of the person, well, actually scientists, because you have to be scientifically qualified, that a continuation of the experiment is likely to result in injury, disability, or death to the experimental subject. So these laws were enacted because of what Hitler did to the Jews. Not just to the Jews, but to German citizens, to any foreign resident living in Germany at the time. So, this stuff is really, really horrific. This TI program goes against the directive for human experimentation as enacted by the Nuremberg Code. And so in 2002, the International Criminal Court, the ICC, was established in The Hague, the Netherlands, and the Rome Statute provide for the ICC to have jurisdiction over genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes. The definition of what is a crime against humanity for ICC proceedings has significantly broadened from its original legal definition, or that used by the UN, and Article 7 of the treaty states that for the purpose of this statute, crime against humanity means any of the following act when committed as part of a widespread or systematic attack directed against any civilian population with knowledge of the attack. And the list goes as followed: murder, extermination, enslavement, deportation or forcible transfer of population, torture, imprisonment, or other severe deprivation of physical liberty in violation of fundamental rules of international law, rape, sexual slavery, enforced prostitution, forced pregnancy, enforced sterilization, or any other form of sexual violence or comparable gravity. Persecution against any identifiable group or collectivity on political, racial, national, ethnic, cultural, religious, gender as defined in paragraph 3, or other grounds that have universally recognized as impermissible under international law in connection with any act referred to in this paragraph or any crime within the jurisdiction of the court. Enforced disappearance of persons, so kidnapping in a sense. The crime of apartheid. Other inhumane act of a similar character intentionally causing great suffering or serious injury to body or to mental or physical health. So we all know that these people are guilty of all of these. They basically, they murder people quietly. I call it quiet murder. They tamper your food. Biological spread of diseases. They give you cancer. All kinds of stuff. Extermination, the same thing, and this is what they do. They may exterminate your whole family by poisoning all their foods, their drinking water, that kind of stuff. Enslavement, they use these tactics where, they may give you a disease or give you, an STD, such as, HPV, herpes, HIV, and threaten to expose you, threaten to embarrass you, threaten to, to lock you up in a sense, to have you experimented on, even killed, so that, you can basically do whatever they want you to do in a sense, that's slavery in a sense. Deportation or forcible transfer of population. Once again, spread rumors about you, COINTELPRO type tactics to get you to move out of your residence, to move to another state, to basically keep you moving, running, and never ending, so that they can say, well, what, this person is unstable. They have moved from place to place within 6 months, a year, 2 years, or whatever. So it's very important that for a targeted individual that you have some kind of stability. Stay where you're at. Okay, if you're gonna go someplace, make sure it's someplace where you have a job that's paying you money so that you can survive. Do not, if you're not working or don't have a job, do not pick up, do not pack and leave, do not go anywhere. Stay where you're at. If you're in a safe environment, stay there. If you're not in a safe environment, then that's a different story. I wouldn't recommend anyone staying in an environment that is not safe. Imprisonment, self-isolation. Okay, this is what they do. Once again, COINTELPRO tactics, poison of your food and water. When you leave your house, your neighbors are outside, or people that you don't know are standing outside. Basically making you isolate yourself in a sense. So that is a form of imprisonment. They've been telling me that, okay, don't go to the gym. When I go to the gym, they do stuff, they injure me, that kind of stuff. But I keep going to the gym, so I don't listen to what they say, whatever kind of subliminal messages that they are trying to send me. I do not listen to it, okay? And I don't suggest that you guys do either. I know it's hard, but this is something that you have to constantly do. Keep doing what you love to do. Go out, work out, stay active, meet people, talk to people. You don't have to tell them your situation right away, but converse. There are a lot of subjects that's have a lot of topics that's going on in the world here in the United States that you can talk about. Torture. When you've been poisoned, when you have been, placed on a mind control, that is torture. Sleep deprivation, that is torture. Rape, sexual slavery, enforced prostitution, enforced sterilization. This is all the stuff that they do. Enforced disappearance. Some people, they kidnap people. the crime of apartheid. And once again, you know, when they do that somehow, they basically, they spread rumors about you so that people don't try to connect with you, so that people shun you, that sort of thing. Basically, keep you away from, particular folks in a particular group. So, this is also apartheid. So this falls under all of these crimes against humanity. So these people basically are criminals. They are criminals. And not just criminals, but they are sociopaths. And let's not forget psychopathic and homicidal psychopath also. So we must, engage in this type of dialogue, whether online or, people, you can meet up and all that kind of stuff. Also, there are tons of internet radio shows that you can go on and meet people that are going through the same thing. My twin brother hosts a radio show on let's see on TalkShoe basically. So it's Nigel N Community Call every Tuesday at 11:15 on TalkShoe Radio. Last Tuesday actually, we called in and they couldn't hear anything. I could hear them, but when I speak, they couldn't hear anything. So they were basically muting my call, and my phone wasn't on mute because I placed my phone on speaker, and same thing. They couldn't hear a word that I was saying. So I posted in the chat, let them know what was going on. So whenever you tell the truth and people believe you, they do things to try to counteract because they want to keep this secret. They want to keep what they're doing to be secret. They are experimenting on me. They are basically trying to isolate me with a certain person, and this person, I really don't have contact with too often. I try my best to to not have any contact with that person. But every time they do something, they taunt you. It's basically what they do. They taunt you. So they'll have her text me, saying that, hey, I'd like to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute. And I'm like, well, no, I'm busy. I can't see you. That sort of thing. And I don't want to be rude and tell her to f off in a sense, but this is what they do. And I think that this person may be or may have been, probably a prostitute, believe it or not, because there's certain things that about a person. First of all, I don't believe she showers, and there's a foul odor. It's hard to explain, but like I said, I try to stay away from this person as much as possible because this stuff is really ridiculous to be doing this to someone. And so and just in that, I'd like all the TIs out there, like I said, to just be very careful. Be very, very careful because they'll hide stuff. They'll probably because this thing is it's so controlled in a sense. They're always against you leaving out of state or going on vacation, and the reason why when you do that is because then they have to put things in place that they already have set up at your residence in a sense. Because this stuff has to be in a controlled environment. I know, and when you're out a lot and you're doing all this kind of stuff, it's hard to control you in a sense because then that control environments become less and less. When you're in your neighborhood and all, they can have people watch you and all that kind of stuff, but it takes a lot of work when you go on vacation overseas or to another state, that sort of thing. But like I said, if it save some money, you guys, and take a vacation, a trip somewhere, it's for a weekend, to the next state, just do something, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. They will do anything to prevent you from traveling. And you have to ask yourself, well, why is that? What have you done to me that, that you want to keep me isolated with one person? Obviously, when they do stuff like that, It's either for me. It's either for three reasons: to have you emotionally attached to that person, so they can basically abuse you and perhaps make you feel depressed, and then possibly murder you and say it's suicide, or even have you commit suicide in a sense. The second reason is they have done something to you, to your body, giving you a disease, a biological pathogen. Okay, whether it's HIV, or HPV, or herpes, or whatever type of other diseases, cancer, where they can't treat you secretly, which I believe is what they're doing to me. They have given me cancer, and it's treating me secretly at night, possibly when I'm asleep. I could shave my head tonight, and tomorrow, okay, my hair grows back tremendously. How is that possible? You ask yourself that. How is that possible? I could work out for 2 weeks, 6 days, 6 days a week, or 5 days a week, twice a day. Get plenty of calorie intake, enough protein, and I don't see any results as far as muscular development. Ask yourself, how is that possible? Or I could work out for 4 weeks, which I've done. All right. I used to be a personal trainer and also an amateur bodybuilder, so I know how my body should respond to the training. I train very hard. So you ask yourself that question: what have they done to you, in a sense? And I've had this mark on my chest, and I don't know if you guys can see it. I think I've tried to show it to you guys before, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's probably not. But in this area here, there is the vein in that area. Your veins, you look at it, and it's kind of like a greenish color, darkish green color. Well, the vein here in this area is almost black, in a sense, and you guys can't see it because but let me see. I also have that same mark on my leg. Let me see if I can show you guys this. Let me just put my shirt back on. So right here, see that mark right here? That is the same mark that I have on my chest right here. And this is something that I think, because of my diet, I eat very healthy, and once again, I drink plenty of, and I ask you guys to make a habit. And excuse me once again, for touching my nose, which to me, I believe is a sign with some people, of mind control when they want to send a subliminal message to someone. But my nose was just itching, so I just like to explain my actions, when I do stuff like that. So anyway, I eat very healthy, and I ask you guys to please drink plenty of coconut water, because coconut water has antifungal fighting properties. So I think that is one of the reasons why I survived my assassination attempt, because I work out, I do plenty of cardio, so my heart is very healthy. I drink plenty of coconut water, which traps fungus and help your body to fight and kill fungus and other bacteria in your body. I eat plenty of yogurt, just healthy foods. I eat healthy foods, and so I believe that is what basically saved me from being murdered, in a sense. So I urge you guys to eat healthy, stay active, and remember the Nuremberg Code. This is important. these people are criminals, and I hope one day that these people stand trial, in front of the world, and the I will accept nothing less than a conviction of life imprisonment for these people for their crimes. What they're doing to us is horrific, inhumane, despicable, heinous, all the bad words that I can think of. Okay, so once again, you guys have a great week, and I will try to post another video soon, and I will explain what's going on with my neighbor upstairs. I'm trying to see if it's somewhere that I can tape. I'm gonna probably buy a remote camera and place it on there's a light pole outside my apartment, or on a wall somewhere where I can get a three directional view, and hopefully I'll be able to tape the synchronization, or like I said now, when I leave my apartments, about as soon as I exit the door, about maybe 10 seconds later, he'll come out of his apartment, and I'll probably be sitting in my car, and he'll come in, and my car parked next to his truck or his girlfriend's car. He'll come in, open up the door of his girlfriend's car, his truck, and then pretend to look inside, and then goes back to his apartment. So that's just something to be mindful of for you guys, because they switch up their tactics all the time. Whenever they feel like they're getting exposed, they're getting caught up to, they try new things. So you guys stay active, be happy, be healthy, do a lot of reading on this subject, and you guys have a wonderful week. And hopefully I will make a video probably by the end of next week, Friday or Saturday, to let you guys know how my week went. So once again, I love you guys. You guys take care. I wish you guys all the best. I wish you happiness, long life, prosperity, all that kind of stuff. All the good stuff. And like I said, you guys have a great day and a great week. This is Neil. Bye-bye.